This website, which lets you download the data sets. The data sets come in a horrendous format, which isn't very friendly. It's not a. They download as spreadsheet data typically, or you can download it as what they call database format, which is tab-separated variable format. The data isn't in a very friendly format for presenting like this, so we had to do a fair amount of work reshaping it using the reshape package in order to get it into a format that could then load into a Google spreadsheet. Google spreadsheets have these motion charts built in, so it's Google spreadsheets that are providing this, and you can embed these motion charts on the web page if you want independently. Well, so they appear as if they're just on your website.
There are other ways we could have done it though. I mean, I used a bit of Python to reshape some of the jobs data, but Google Spreadsheets now has a sort of JavaScript engine, which is a little bit like the sort of Visual Basic that comes with Microsoft products. So we could have done it directly in Google Spreadsheets, but if we wanted to go a lot further, that would have limited us, because the number of columns and rows we would have wanted to pull in all of the data that would have been relevant to sort of job searches and so on would have been limited by Google.
Yeah. And finally, I just want to thank Chris again for helping, and Andrew.
I have a question.
Yeah.
With the sort of like data sources, I mean, is that something they already have an API for, or is it something that would be easily downloadable and put into a sort of like website with the API?
I don't think there's an API. There may be one that somebody else has created. I didn't find anything on Scraper Wiki pulling the data out.
There was sort of like one spreadsheet that we could sort of maybe just sort of like make a database out of something.
There isn't one. Well, that's sort of one of the problems really. There is an enormous amount of data, and it's not available in a single foot. You could, I guess, because you can run queries on the Nomus website, and it has a very sort of clunky interface, which is all kind of drop-down boxes and things. So you could run a query that said, give me all the data you have for every region and everything, which would give you an enormous amount of data, and then you could use something like Scraper Wiki to scrape and reserve that. That would be a sort of easy-ish way of doing it, but I suspect that the data would still be in such a difficult format to work with that you'd have to put quite a bit of work into making it a neat API to research.
And as far as I can tell, you would still have to download a larger number of separate data sets, at least 20 or maybe more, because the interface allows you to select a set of variables and not all sets of all variables, as far as I can tell.
I just mentioned that in R you can create this motion charts with package Google Base directly.
Yeah, so you can actually, as Chris says, create these in R and then embed them within your website, or just have them pop up in a window if you're doing a desktop application. Whether that would overcome the limit that Google Spreadsheets has on the number of columns, we don't know, because we haven't tried it. Depends whether the Google widget has the same limit as the Google Spreadsheet.